All right, I don't want to hold us up too long, and of course, as always, there is so much that I could share with you, and I could probably talk for an hour. In fact, as I was preparing for it, I'm like, oh, this is going to take a long time. What am I going to cut out? So you are going to get a real quick preview of 4 great tools that hopefully will help you engage your students, give them some instant feedback, and give yourself some formative assessment about them. These 4 programs I'm hoping will help you, because we all know as we get closer and closer to the end of the school year, kids get antsy, we get antsy. We're thinking about the summer and the beautiful weather outside, or we're sweating in our desks or our classrooms because it's getting really warm. But hopefully these little apps can hopefully help you change things up once in a while, but still give you what you need for your students. So that's what today is all about, and I'm going to get started right away on them. So I have to get to our other screen. As I said, this is about engaging your students, giving them some feedback about what they're learning, but also getting you some assessment on them. So I'm going to present my screen, and right now you're going to see my screen split into 4 different screens, I'm hoping. You'll see all 4 of them. We're going to concentrate on these 4 apps: the Mentimeter, Socrative, Plickers, and Whiteboard.fi. And I'm going to tell you, these are 4 apps that I've heard of, haven't really used any of them except for Mentimeter before. So how easy are they to learn? Believe it or not, they are pretty simple. The hardest one for me was Plickers, and I think it's just because it was more time consuming because of what I have to prep in order to use it with the students. But I basically set up all 4 of these apps and the test for you to watch today within about 2 hours. So if I can do that, I know you can do it also. So we're not going to get into the nitty-gritty of how to do it. We're just going to show you what it can do for you. And if you're interested in learning more about it, number 1, you can go sign up and play around, and I'm guessing many of you can figure it out. But if not, you can contact us. I will meet with you separately and talk about one of those if you want, or preview all 4 of them a little bit more deeply for you. There are videos out there that would help you understand how to use them. And also, I'm going to plan on putting together some more videos just on each one of them separately, so you could pick from there. So with that said, we've got about 20 minutes. I've got 4 things to teach you about. We're going to try to demonstrate for you how it looks on your end and how the students use it. Now, if any of you are on your computers and you are like, I can handle this and I want to pretend to be a student, you're welcome to join in when I show you the code and how to do it. Otherwise, just sit back and we'll do our best to show you what I can. We're going to start with Mentimeter. What I love about all 4 of these programs is you can use them all for free. There are free versions of every one of them. Of course, every one of them also has a paid version if you want to go up to that. But the free version allows you to do what you want to do with the kids, and enough assessment that you're not overwhelmed with it, and the kids are getting a taste from it. So please know that you can use every one of these for free. None of them are free trials that are going to force you to eventually have to pay for them. These are all free all the time. So Mentimeter, as you can see, these are the different things. What do you get for free? You can have as many people in your audience. You can do as many presentations as you want. What's limited is the number of questions you can put out each time. But as you can see right here, it's saying you can have at least 7. I think I have 8 in mine, and I think you can do more than that. I haven't pushed the limit yet on it. All right, so first of all, for you to get into Mentimeter is simply to go to Mentimeter.com and put in, tell it you want to sign in using Google. 3 out of the 4 of these, you sign in using Google. 1 of them you don't even sign into to use the free version. So once you do that and you get in, I will show you, it starts you out by putting you here, and you have 3 menu items over on the side. You have your presentations, inspiration, branding, and coloring. So it's pretty simple. Really, it's about your presentations. As you can see, I have created 2 of them already. Inspiration, what's cool, I just discovered this today, is you can click on this. There are different categories, including a teacher and student section, that already have presentations made. So as you can see, about change and renewable resources, biology. So you could possibly find something in here that's already pre-made, and all you do, this is a language class one I think I might want to use, I hit add to my presentations, go back to presentation, And it's in here. It's an example. It's only 2 slides long, but it might be all you need to do a real quick assessment, a formative assessment for your students. If you don't like it, obviously, you can always get rid of it. So from there, obviously, to actually set up one of these presentations, I'm not going to go in depth on that, but what I'm going to do is take us in and show you how it works. So this is one of my presentations or the one that I made for our sample today. It is 8 slides long. And so you'll see right here that I have 8 slides in it. I really only have about 5 questions because there's something called leaderboards, and that's based on doing a quiz competition. So this would be what I would have set up, and when I'm ready to use it, I just say present. And what it does is go into present mode for you. And at the top, it tells your students exactly what to do. Go to menti.com, type this in as your code. So that's what your students would do. So I'm going to go over here and show you that I have already signed in, but I'm going to go back out and show you. Here's what the students will see when they go to menti.com. And I just have to remember my code, 170459. Okay, and they don't have to put the spaces or anything. It's very easy to do. And because I already started the presentation, they get into it right away. So this one is a picture. I gave you some examples. Name 3 nouns in this picture. I can put sky, tree, and I think I see a girl in there. And I'm going to submit. So that's what the students see. Now they're waiting for me to bring up the next question for them. But in the meantime, what I'm seeing over here is their responses. And this is a word cloud. So that's just one example of what you can do. You have a word cloud answer that you can use. Down at the bottom, real simple. Move to the next slide. Again, this is the question I created. The students now see it. Put these seasons in order from your favorite to least favorite. This is a drop-down menu, and they select them. So my first one, I like fall, summer, winter, and spring. Submit my answer as a student. As the teacher, the answers show up here. Okay, and you can set it to show the answers right away, or you can set it to hide the answers, and then, so here's hide my results. I can wait until all of my students have answered. If you notice down here, you can see how many students are in the group, or how many have answered it, and all those kind of things. So that's how that works. The next set of questions, let's see. I don't know if you can hear the music going, but this one, so I have somebody who joined in. I don't know who our bumblebee is here, but that's not me. This is me here. They've joined in and they're ready to go. So you would wait until you saw all the students' pictures up here, and when you know that all your kids are ready to go, hit enter. This is a timed competition. They have 10 seconds to answer their question. So if you're doing something with a book, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I think I lost mine over here. I'm not going to be able to answer because I lost my child in here in my other computer. But somebody answered it was Lucy. It shows you what the actual correct answer according to what I had put in there. So you can show the students that. When I'm ready, it shows who takes the lead. So this is our Stingalicious person. I don't know who that is. And then I can go to the next question, start my countdown, make sure my kids are ready to go, hit enter, and it goes through the whole thing. So you would see as your students start to answer, count down from 10 as you can see again. It lets them know when the answer's almost done, time up, and there they are. Right? And again, your leaderboard comes up. I have a new leader, a new person joined us here. So as you can see, it engages the students because they're looking up on your board to see what's happening, but they're also on their computers answering questions, and it can be a review of a lot of different things that you're doing. So I just picked some different questions to ask here. And this is our last one. See how smart we all are today. And it's counting down. So it's kind of on that side of, you know, we all have the Kahoots too, but this is created by you personally that fits what you want it to do. All right. I'm going to exit out of here. Like I said, that's an example of a presentation. Another example of how you can use this, just real quick, a presentation I created. This was actually from 2 years ago. We were doing our annual boy-girl talks at school, and I was working with the boys, and I was supposed to be talking about perceptions of females and males. And so I created this, and I had the boys answer. First, they had to write in 5 words that they believe describe boys, and it made a word cloud for them. And then I did the same thing for girls. You know, what are 5 words that describe it? And then we use these as a starting point for our discussion as far as, do you agree with these? What do you see in here that kind of struck you funny? Or what do you, believe is right or wrong? All that kind of stuff. What's nice about your presentation is that when you're done, this lets you know you used it, but you can reset your results. All right, so that's Mentimeter. Lots of things you can do with that, but good way to engage your students and also get some feedback for them right away. Do you know your answers to the questions or not? Are you ready for the test? But also for you, you could use it as your formative assessment for them. Socrative is very similar to that, just a little bit different format. Again, free version and paid versions. The free version gives you up to 50 students at a time, which I can't imagine most of us are using, having more students than that at one time. You only have one classroom that you use. You can't set up separate classrooms. And you can only launch one activity at a time. I'm not really sure why I want to launch more activities than that, but I guess if I'm monitoring a bunch of different groups, I could do that. So for free, you just use your Google sign-in again. Once you get in there, you create a class and you give it a name. So I named my class Gazans. That's the name of my class. So what happens is students go here, they just go to Socrative.com and they click login. And when they do it, they choose the student login. And when they choose the student login, they then would put in that name of my class. They just put in the words Gazans. Now, I can't go back and forth between the student version and the teacher version on the same computer with Socrative. It keeps logging me out of one or the other. So I am not going to do that, but hopefully somebody is trying Socrative.com and they're putting in Gazans as the class that they want to use. And hopefully we can get some results here. So again, Socrative, when you get in here, pretty self-explanatory, but there is a launch, which is when you're ready to actually do the quiz with the kids or do something with them. Quizzes, which is where you create your quizzes. Here's where you create your room. You can make your room. You get reports from every time you do a quiz. It saves it for you so you can go back and look at the results later after you're done with the students. And then you have the section which is results. This is exactly what's happening when it's live, when you've already launched an activity. So I'm going to go in here and you'll notice there's a quiz, there's a space race, and an exit. Those are the 2 exit ticket. Those are the 2 or 3 different types of competitions or presentations that you can do, but you can also do a really quick one. So if in the middle of working with the kids, you're like, I got to get them engaged, you can just go make up one question really quick and get an answer from that. Exit ticket, you don't even have to create. Exit ticket, if I do that right now, I don't know, I have 4 kids in there, I think. So pretend I see 5 people in here. So I should have launched that exit ticket for you. Go ahead and answer. The first one, what you will see is how did you feel about today? So, did you do really well in class? Did you not? And notice as the students are coming up, you're seeing them in there and they should have answered that. The second question that'll come up for them every time is, what is something you learned in class today? So they have to type a short answer in there. And what I like about the third one for an exit ticket is the third one says, answer the teacher's question. So I could say, what was your favorite thing about today? And they could answer that question. Or what were the 4 types of math problems we did today? And they would have to answer those questions, okay? And as you can see, as the students do it, I can see their results. And they have them marked as right or wrong. You don't have to give them a scoring system on here. You can show names or not show names. So if you have this up in front of everybody, whether or not they all see it. So I'm going to finish this one and get out of the exit ticket, but that's something you can do without even having to come up with questions. It just automatically is there, and then it records your results. I'm going to go and launch a new one, go to a quiz. I made a quiz for today, so Tuesday Tech Talk. I'm going to say next, what's cool about this is you have 3 ways of doing your presentations. Instant feedback. The kids are going to get whether their answer is right or wrong right away as they're doing it. Open navigation, that allows them to do it at their own pace. And when they're finished, they're finished. So you could put this up and let them work at the pace they need to, or teacher paced. So in this case, I'm going to do teacher paced. And you'll notice that I can also require names. I can shuffle answers. I can show final scores. I can mark all of those things real quick. So in this case, you're actually going to see my quiz as it happens. And now those of you who are signed in, the 6 of you who are signed in, you see this question and you should be able to answer it. How many days are in a week? I can see when students answer it. Is everybody seeing it? I hope those of you signing in are. Notice 3 of 4. I can see my students here. 4 of 4 students answered. When I'm ready, I can show the results. So I can see that 75% of them answered the correct answer, 25% did not. Okay, that's one type of question. Here's another question, a true-false question. And hopefully they're all answering. You should be able to see that they are answering as we go. It's 4 out of 4 students again. Show results. Everybody answered false, which is the correct answer. So you can talk about that. And the last one. This one is a short answer. Couple of things I noticed as I was making it. Sounds like it should be a pretty easy one, right? But you have to put the answer in exactly the way I put it in. So in this case, I'm going to let you guys go ahead, answer it the way you think you would answer it. And we'll show you which ones look right and which ones are going to be marked wrong. I can show names. All right, and then I can show answers. I will tell you the only one, I don't even know if any of these would be marked correct, because I would have to give the direction. Please name the 3 colors, doesn't matter what order, but put commas between them. And that's how they would answer right. But you can see by looking at it whether or not you think it's right. Okay, so that's Socrative. That's a very similar to Mentimeter, but just a little bit different format. Might be easier for some of you to use. And like I said, you see your results, you get reports, all kinds of things in here, all free again. All right, that's 2 of them. Let's see if I can get through the other 2. Plickers, as I told you, is the one that I thought was the most difficult for me to put together, but that's because this one does not require your students to do any kind of electronic work. What you do is give your students these. They're little, like almost like a QR code, but they're a little game piece, and each one of them is unique. You notice they're different shapes here, and each one is marked as a 1, 2, 3, or 4, all the way up to 40 cards you can get like this. And every one of them has the letters A, B, C, or D around the outside of them. So what you do is you put your question up on the board, and the student decides the answer by A, B, C, or D, holds up their card whichever way is the right answer. You have to put something on your phone, an app on your phone. Then you can take your phone and go around and you scan each of the cards. So you just go around and you put this in front of each student's card, and it records their answer. And you'll know which student is which. And this is where it gets a little harder for you, is that you have to put your students in and assign them one of the numbers. So if I want Johnny to be number 4, I put that 4 with it, so I know which student is answering me. Again, Plickers is free. If you notice, it will always, according to them, be free to teachers. And it allows you to do everything that you need to do. There are a few extra things that you can do with the Plickers Pro, but you definitely don't need it. So I've already signed in. This is what my account looks like. This one, again, you use sign in with Google, takes right in and puts you in as a person, and you're all set to go. I went through and set it all up and got a little preview for you, but I want to show you what I like about Plickers. Even though it was hard to get through it all, what they did for me, I signed in again as a new person. At the very beginning, they give you this little part over here. They step you through exactly what you need to do, get ready. So first of all, you create some classes. You have to create a class, put your students in it, that kind of thing. It tells you how to create your first set of questions. And then right here, you can get your cards. You can either download them, which I'll show you really quick. This is what I did. I hit download and I printed these. They come out to a page. Please don't do like I did. I forgot to take away two-sided. You can't have cards on both sides. That won't work. So make sure it's one-sided when you print them. Cut them apart to whatever size you want. You could glue them to cardboard or something like that to make them a little firmer. The big trick I found, like I said, I thought it was maybe my printout that was bad, but it was that I was trying to get too close to them with my phone. I thought I had to be right there. And actually it's set up so that you can walk around the room and be pretty far away and get the students' answers. So on the app itself, when you're going in, you can see it's almost like scanning something. You can see a picture. You can see the kids' cards, and it will pop up when it takes the answer from it. So you can download them with no cost to you, but you also have the option of purchasing an actual set of cards from Amazon. They're under $20, and they're a nice, solid, cardboard, a nice thing that would last for a while. And then they actually email you the link to the app so you can put it on your phone. Like I said, it was a little more time consuming and I had to figure it all out, but once I did, it really is not that difficult to do. So this is I gotta go back to my version where I put this in. So here it is. I click on the set that I created of questions, and all I have to do is say play now. I choose which class I want to play it with. So I'm going to play it with Gozin's test. You guys can't participate in this one, but I'll show you really quick how it works. So this question comes up. So it says, what day do we celebrate the Last Supper? So the students would take their card, and if they know the answer is Holy Thursday, they're going to look for the A on their card. So this student's A is up here at the top. They're going to hold that up, and then as I come around, I'm just going to show you really, see if I can do it just once. And you probably can't see it on my phone, but it tells me the question right on the phone. And then down at the bottom is a little circle I push. And when I push that, it is looking at the cards. And when I hold it up out here, did you notice on the screen that the test 1 student turned blue? It recorded that student's answer. And now if I do test 2, or the group 2, and I'm going to put B up here, and did you notice that it turned blue again? So all of your students would be listed here on the side. You would know when you've scanned everybody's, and you can have this show student names also instead of test 1, 2. I call them test 1, 2, but your student's name, John, Mary, Susie, all those would show up. And then when you're done, you reveal your answers. So you can see one person answered correctly, one answered incorrectly. And that's how that works. It's really cool because the kids themselves don't have to be on a computer, but they're engaged and they're seeing what you're doing up there and they see their results right away. So that is Plickers. I have one more to get through. I don't know how am I doing on time. I'm just going to go a few minutes early. I understand if you have to leave, but the last one is called Whiteboard.fi. Some of you may have used some interactive whiteboards during your virtual, maybe like Jamboard. And I was going to show you Jamboard for those of you who haven't and how you can use it in your classroom. However, as I started to try to get it to work with the students and stuff, it seemed a little complicated. I wanted something easy. How can I get my kids onto Whiteboard right away? So what I did is I went to Whiteboard.fi, free version. The rooms are temporary. And when they say temporary, that means once you close out, whatever you were doing at that time is gone. You don't have a record of it. However, you can export the record before you leave, like in a PDF or stuff like that. It doesn't cut you out until 2 hours of inactivity. So you might start it with one class and you have a class switch time and you're going to do it with the next class. As long as it doesn't sit idle for 2 hours, it'll keep working for you, which is really cool. The difference with Whiteboard.fi is please do not try to sign in. Do not do a sign in. You're going to use it the way that it is here. So what you do is when you go to Whiteboard.fi, you're going to start a new class. Your students are going to join the class. So I've already started my class. So this is the class that I started. And it comes with a code. So when the kids go to join the code, So if those of you who are looking to do this, Whiteboard.fi, you can say join class and type in this code, which is Y96D3. What you'll notice is as people join, you see their whiteboard. And I had already put a student in, but she logged out here. Let me see if I can get her logged back in. All right. Anybody else joining me here? I don't see anyone else. Oh, there they are. Thank you for those of you who are helping me out here. So these are the students' whiteboards. So what happens when they put it in is that they will see basically a plain whiteboard in front of them that they can draw on. And if you notice, my Sarah, while she was waiting, she said hi to me, and that's totally fine. But then I, as the teacher, also have a whiteboard. Oh, so we'll toggle back. Earl just scribbled on for me. All right, everybody else is waiting patiently, but here is my whiteboard. Before the students came in, I put something on my whiteboard, a question I wanted to answer them and have them do. So I want them to circle in red which of these cursors is their favorite in the picture. Now, in order for them to do this, I have to push it out to them. So that's what this push right here is. This is how easy it is. Say push. I can push all the pages I've created, so I can make multiple pages, or just the current one. So I'm going to push it to students. And up in the corner, it's telling me it's pushing that whiteboard. Please wait. It says it's been successful. So what I should see up here is all of the students now have that in front of them, except for Sarah, because she's not signed in right now. And they should be able to take their tool and circle in red their favorite cursor. And I can see what they filled in. So I can assess all of my students at that time. They can see what other kids are doing, that kind of stuff. So real simple. You could also just say, hey, on your whiteboards, I want you to draw me a picture of, you know, what the tree looked like in our story today, or whatever it is. So there's a lot of different ways. You could have them do a math problem on here. You know, show me what 4 plus 2 is, and they can write 4 plus 2 equals 6 for you, and you would be able to assess very easily what they're doing. And you can toggle between yours and theirs. So I could go in here and create a new board and push a new board out to them while they're working, you know, after they're done working on one board. You just have to play around with the tools a little bit. So those are 4 free apps that will help you engage your students, give them some feedback into their learning, and also give you some formative assessments on them. Does anybody have a quick question for me? I think I went 5 minutes over. I apologize, but does anybody have any questions for me? Like I said, please feel free to reach out if you want more details, or I'm sure you can go out, or I can find you some videos to use to learn a little bit more about each one. But maybe you try one of them and you're like, this will help me just spice it up a little bit for my kids, keep them engaged up through the end of the school year. I really appreciate you all being here this afternoon. We have one more of these Tech Talks coming up. May 11th, I believe, is the date of that one. And that one, we're going to be exploring some new apps that we're discovering that you might want to go and explore during your summer to kind of get you started for the upcoming school year. All right. Again, thank you all for being here. Let me know if you have any questions. I do see there's something in my chat. Let me see if I can. I see Alex. Thank you so much for helping out. She's been sending them links to get on if they need to. So again, everybody have a great week. Good luck with all your map testing when it comes up in the next couple of weeks here. And we will hopefully see you in May. Thanks, everybody.